and making sure you get as much of that damage off as possible. That could be a key turning point for Simplicity. Meanwhile, Sanguine, I don't know, I feel like their carries are relatively decent at getting away on their own if they need to. We'll see how it all unfolds, though. Game number 1 for a ticket to Worlds about to start.
And they're only 3 games away, both these teams, from making it there. Best of 5 for the full victory. Hindu and F-Dot on the call today.
For this, so to speak. I think you're in a good spot.
So what's the focus then on these supports? How do you shut them down? What's the game plan, so to speak, if they're going to be the carries to an extent?
Well, it's interesting. We saw a little bit of it before, and Stringham's going to get a taste of it.
He's
right
die straight away. Wrongu will end up getting credit for that kill at the tail end. The damage from Tough just a little bit more potent.
That classic clip of him yelling at Omega as they siege the Phoenix.
Could be a problem in mid lane here because Panitom just overextended and Genetic slaps on the back and kisses them both. Panitom will go down as a response kill from Simplicity. Good timing gank from Simplicity as it was Sanguine that got aggressive for a second there.
I love to see she felt the longevity of the week, but I think it has more to do with how important the set is.
Haddock's under pressure here, gets knocked up at the right sort of time for a Maniac to allow Genetics to get in there, and the bleed is ticking away from those poisons. Should be enough.
Wow.
Or is it? Into the sky he goes. And he will survive for now, but another forced ultimate onto Haddox. This is stopping any potential rotations. Talk about rotations now. Netroid under pressure.
Fail's going to look on the left side, and that will be successful. Haddock's able to get out of there and make that a 1 port already. That's going to enable Sanguine to walk into the enemy jungle. Red buff already down, but the fight's big.
And Streak Up will rewind, but where's he going to end up? And Genetics blinking in to try and help him out, but Streak Up still under pressure. Pinned in place, and the knock-up is good from Panitom. In the skies fails, but a good step from Netroid keeps him alive. But Netroid needs a bit of help and gets it from Wrongu. Not enough, however, as Fails threads the needle with that dart back to the kill and finds a second one.
Solo laners make the rotation. That lines up Shinto to get rid of Death Panner. Haddock's 1,525, maybe a tower, maybe a gold. Very smooth and steady increases in the gold leads for a lot of these teams, and I think that has to do with how safe everybody's playing.
Wrongu stepping up to try and see what's going on in the middle area of the map, and that's going to force a bit of a fight as Genetics there gets aggressive. Fails got to Shinto on the backside of this fight. Didn't end up seeing what to keep this going. Gold Fury started up by Sanguine. How do you feel about this?
This is a little bit rough, but they do have the on her for the confirmation and the burn.
And final judgment coming through. Sanguine get the Gold Fury. Genetics jumps in, looking to try and cause a problem. It does create room for Fails to use the ult and look towards Wrongu, who's isolated and will fall down. One support kill, though, for a go, and of course Kronos. It's going to be a little bit easy.
Yeah, the siege phase will certainly be a little different.
Anytime getting engaged in the jungle here, just completely out of position to really get any support whatsoever. The ult will keep him alive for a second, but the dot damage from Genetics' ult will bring him down. And this is all Simplicity. Shinto getting engaged on by mid lane by 3 members. Streak Up and Fails were busy at the Fury. But meanwhile, the Genetics ult avoided most of that damage in the final judgment. Now Maniac going in and will help Fails get the kill on Panitom. And that's causing so many problems for Sanguine's backline. Yes, the backline is dying. The front line is still tanky, but they just weren't in position to help.
Shinto's a god, immune to Kiss by way of the CC immune ult from on her. Haddox is going to go up. They're looking for a chapter 2.
And they're looking to try and take down Maniac, but that's a tanky little snake. Fails at the same time, though, gets Netroid exposed, and Haddox on the front side goes down. 4 members dead on Sanguine. They only lost zoning. We're just trying to cause some sort of problem with the final judgment. I don't know if he's got the damage to really kill anyone at this moment in time. Maybe strip some health bar down. But Simplicity not making mistakes, not over-aggressing, playing very disciplined in this moment.
But still willing to be aggressive and put their foot on the gas. They are testing this. They are looking for the throne room push. There's a taunt on a Wrongu, and they're all in. Haddox in trouble, gets back to the fountain.
But meanwhile, different story for Panitom. He won't escape the clutches of the whole army of Simplicity. Haddox ults back in, though, does some good damage. It will force Simplicity back at the very least. But once again, Simplicity by walking on in and tanking it up, but no one's really here to chip it away just yet. Streak Up arrives and focuses on that Phoenix, as Fails focuses on Panitom and gets himself his 10th kill of the game.
Fails doing a fantastic job here, carrying it up. There's on her. The jump away is good, but the rest of Simplicity surrounded and pounded.
Haddox dunks in, trying to slow down this aggression from Simplicity, and Simplicity getting lower, but Fails does have a Blood Forge, and that comes up big to give him a bit of shield and extra health. He's still alive at the tail end, and Simplicity all still up at this moment in time. Whereas Sanguine, different story. All 3 Phoenixes down. I don't think Wrongu and Netroid can stop this alone. They're just going to be playing very carefully here.
If it was just the players, they might have been able to, but those fire minions certainly coming through in the clutch. Game number 1 goes to Simplicity.
This Horus especially going to have to watch out for that.
Well, which one are you favoring here then? The Sanguine's draft or Simplicity's 2-0, or can Sanguine even this one up?
I think it comes down a lot to how well this Persephone can perform, but I think Simplicity again.
Well, sounds like we're leaning towards Simplicity here on the desk, but what about the Persephone? Maybe there's some thoughts there from the casters.
Well, I'm excited to see if Sanguine can really bounce back, because they did it a couple times this week so far. But this is going to be an uphill battle, is how it's looking out to me, Tom.
I mean, I am the early and the mid game, so I am more of a fan of that.
Everybody's builds matching pace. Janex blinks in, gets aggressive, and the Kraken is there for follow-up. Paddington has no escape in that situation. He did get the ultimate off at least. Into just limit the amount of gold that the enemy team's getting in terms of a lead now, making sure that Osiris doesn't get hold of it. Paddington goes to the back line, gets Krakened again, and these Krakens have been beautiful from Panther so far. The ult from Fails in the wall, not the greatest positions to shut down Shinto just yet, as Genetics gets juggled in the air, as does Fails by Wrong.
Kill there, no window of opportunity, the Pyromancer.
There's a blink from Genetics though, ult and gets the bees out of Shinto straight away. Wrong you taking up to hold his own, but that Kraken may change his mind about that situation. Panther again, 3 kills all the way of him. City shredded the Gold Fury, we spoke about it earlier. Ooh, that was a little bit too close, that Kraken was early.
Fails goes up now, and next time he'll probably go up earlier, but the fight after the fact could be trouble. Sanguine shows up, Fails lands down.
And looks towards Shinto, and Shinto trapped in the whirlpool will end up dying, but Paddington gets the credit for the kill on Fails. Wrong you low, streak up lower. He's going to turn around and go for damage. No, he can't flicker away at that moment. Shinto still giving chase, and he's
looking for these 16 minutes.
Aggression in mid lane on Death Panther going on right now, and Shinto combining with Wrong You. That's the first time I managed to see Wrong You blink, get the engage off. And Panther still had his relics up there by the look.
And Sanguine taking a page out of Simplicity's book. Takes an inch, looks for a mile.
Got a man advantage here, but I call it ultimate's missing. Paddington going to look towards Maniac, and Maniac has his ultimate up. Won't get a chance to really use it other than to get away and die. But in this guy's Fails, looking for an option to come back down. Wrong you challenge the ultimate will go back towards the Pyromancer.
Just open the laning phase. If you drop those Oni Fury minions, even though it's a little bit earlier than usual, players will still have to go defend, and you could look for Fire Giant might be pushing it, but at least a tower or a Pyromancer.
Big grouping on this right-hand side here. I think Simplicity thought he might be able to go for an FG. Haddix and Wrong You here, but Haddix won't get a chance to use his ult at all. He gets bursted down again by the Kraken from Panther. And those Krakens are really making an impact, but this is given a bit.
A lot of things that, with the way that we play the game because of the builds, and so Netroid resurrecting it.
Simplicity trying to make this Fire Giant happen though. Fails to the sky, Netroid round the back, took a lot of poke damage. Paddington got to Death Panther though. Fails is looking for an option to dunk back down if he can find one, but Streak up under pressure still on the backside from Paddington, who's looking for a double kill. Netroid's still alive as Fails comes in and dies. Streak up is still alive.
That's all Wrong You, baby. Kept his eyes to the sky and his eyes on the prize. As soon as Fails lands down, boom! There.
A little bit worried because Janex does have that frenzy, remember, and a blink available. Maniac going to lead the charge into the pit and try and force Sanguine back. Paddington wrapping around the back, looking to try and slow down the aggressor on the front line. Streak in a good position. Janex in the worst one. Janex has to run away in the turtle form. Streak comes there to try and zone away the members of Sanguine, but Sanguine being slowed down. Maniac ends up dying. FG is still alive, however. It's a big thing for Simplicity now that the respawns are coming through.
Paddington's going to run away from Death Panther. Fails has the ultimate, and that's the
scariest
part. Fails going to land on 2 players.
Catches Paddington, and Paddington in a world of hurt. No wall available there. Fails was looking for the hammer. Double tap, won't find it. Meanwhile, Haddix gets isolated there. And Genetics, Panther, and Streak up with the kill. Crazy battle at the FG, initiated by Simplicity.
Gift, but not the gift that you wanted.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's Christmas Day. I got socks. I mean, they'll be useful, thanks. But, you know, rather have that new Xbox. Great ultimate onto Fails from Netroid there. And now Genetics just trying to battle back again. Sanguine have made this a little bit scrappier now. Simplicity started the scrappiness, but Sanguine are happy to do so. And they're starting to win these battles a little bit more so.
Yeah. Again, Wrong You is playing fantastically. Netroid has hit his stride.
All in on Genetics. Paddington had the ultimate available. They're trying to get rid of this Erlang Shen. That's caused them so many problems in the early game. That's Genetics' first death. And now Simplicity with only 3 members left. Maniac back in action though to try and slow down. Ulted back to safety, which brought him back to Paddington. He went, okay, changed my mind about all this all of a sudden. Fails back in action around the corner. Kraken hits. Only onto Wrong You though. That is a tanky target. He is dead. But Shinto gets hold of Maniac. Fails to the back of Netroid. Haddix gets a kill. But Fails, can he find a kill here? Can he find where Netroid's hiding?
He can't. He's going to look for Shinto. Misses it. Gets the hammer stun and the Aegis.
And Genetics is there to follow up and help secure the kill. on the escape. You saw Netroid get away. That's an important one, as Panitom's still perfectly healthy and fails in a bit of no man's land here. He did find a pick at least, but it cost him his life. Whirlpool damage, but the pressure on is Haddix with the teleport to try and get over here. Sorry, he didn't even teleport, he was still here. Genetic still low, Panitom around the corner. Already Panther's dead, and the power of Jing Wei compels you. Well, you're going to be in trouble. Look at all those minions, as Doug's pointing out there. Just going to be able to whittle down that tier 2 tower. Here comes an FG siege, though.
Metroid, ton of damage. It'll look for Fire Giant. Ultimate coming out of the support player, Wrong U. There's Frenzy, and they're all in.
But Genetic's just blinking ulted in and only got hold of Wrong U there, so it's ult for ult exchange between the two supports. Fire Giant still leashes. Panitom goes in towards Genetics, who's isolated, grasping death off the mark. Oh no, it's not! It pulled him into the wall one more time! And another kill for Sanguine and Metroid.
Beautiful play there from Sanguine. Simplicity not done yet. Maniac still interested, and Death Panther around the right side is a big threat.
Keep an eye out for those Krakens coming in to maybe secure the Fire Giant. Fails in the sky, hits onto Shinto. Netroid may end up going down though, the hammer off the mark. The wall hits as Haddock now goes underground. Shinto trying to do as much damage as he can before he falls back to base. But it is a did fall down. But there's a window for Simplicity now, and they're trying to go for the Fire Giant. But Panitom turns up. Wrong you on the way from mid lane too. Netroid alone. He didn't have any relics available, and that's what Simplicity were looking for. Panther though will be a casualty in response, but at least he got his Kraken off.
Fails again.
Oh,
makes it
grasp.
happen. Panatom puts down Streak Up. Genetics on the run. This is Sanguine's fight to win. Genetics makes it over the wall, but Panatom waiting right there. Zigzag not strong enough. Maniac underneath the tier 2 tower. Sanguine not pumping the brakes.
But Maniac will end up falling down. Look
and on us with a Frenzy. Go ahead. It's a deterrent factor. Really nice use of the Frenzy.
Collapse attempt onto Maniac. He doesn't have an ultimate available, remember, so he's under a lot of pressure here. Needs some support and gets it from Genetics. Great blink and an ult, but still the aggression from Shinto looking for the grasp of death. The wall from Fails prevents the option, and Genetics actually ends up eating it anyway. But Panitom still gets to the back and gets to Maniac and gets a kill. Genetics could be next on the list.
Double kill there for the jungler. Genetics going to be slowed down. Gem of Isolation working. Big pop coming out from Death Panther, but Wrong U puts him down. Blackjack for Sanguine as they walk down mid.
And there's only Genetics and Fails here to defend, but neither has an ultimate. The middle Phoenix will fall. Do you go for the end here?
Absolutely. 3 players on the bench, 5 people strong. Vamos Sanguine walk in, but watch out for Fails.
Just came back up that ultimate at the right sort of time. He's looking for Netroid, if anything. Instead, holds it too long, comes back down, and Panitom goes, hello. Let's say hello. Wrong U taking up the Titan. Shinto slipping around the left. Netroid round the right, but Fails gets hold of Wrong U, and then he gets hold of Shinto. But the Titan is slowly falling, and Shinto is still in action with Persephone, but they're slowly whittling them down. It's not going to be good enough. Sanguine answer back. We're tied up at 1-1.
There's a lot of CC, 2 really strong backliners. The backline's super good, a lot of damage, CC. Just more good standard comp, but if Morgan performs well, I give it to Simplicity.
Well, then a lot riding on Streak Up and this Morgan play as we head into this all-important game number 3.
Really is an important one too. Thanks so much, Finch and Zeros on the desk. Hitting with Tom on the call yet again for game number 3. And I do like what Zeros was talking about on the desk regarding how big of a game. Yeah, that poison spread is just so good for covering a lot of the options as Genetics going to ambush in towards Haddix here. Looking for an invade with Sanguine. Keep an eye out because in the sky, Panitom is going up. Comes crashing down towards Genetics and all the focus is on him, but they won't manage to find the kill. Genetics slips the noose for now, and Haddix uses his ultimate looking for that kill. Now he could be under pressure.
Death Panther. Wingus is going to allow him to catch up. Spearfall is going to be important. Can he land the long-range stun? The answer is yes. Fails with the first one. Death Panther with the secondary kill. And Simplicity getting complex here in the early stages of game 3.
It was close from Sanguine. They went for the kill onto Genetics, didn't find it, and then that rotation out of Death Panther came up monstrous. Now Streak Up looking for a 1v1 against Netroid on this left-hand side. Streak Up transforms into the Pele and looks to abuse the situation and does so well. A solo kill for Streak Up.
Great choice there. Streak Up has...
Sanguine then down 1,500 gold at this point as Streak Up just strip away that Gold Fury Oracle minions, and Wrong U then still at level 4 and being fully punished because of it. Genetics finds a full combo, and the final Wingus will secure the kill for Simplicity yet again. Haddix is trying to make a play on this blue buff here, but it's just drawing so much attention. Fails waited patiently for this opportunity, and Haddix just took hold of it again. He knew Maniac was low on mana, and he was trying to abuse the situation of that low mana, but Wrong U might be able to answer this back for his teammate. In the sky is Fails, sorry, not Fails, Panitom, funny enough. That was Fails last game, and a big grasp in death from Shinto has set up a world of hurt for Simplicity. Turnaround play though as Death Panther tries to come in and make it happen, but Streak Up gets a solo kill again.
Double kill still on the other side. And even Shinto, who's proven that he can play it, sure, we can play around
from
him.
Genetics on towards Wrong-Yu, really trying to shut down the terror and do so well. He should end up dying at the tail end, but Panitom and Netroid combine. Good rotation from Netroid to make something happen. And now that's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Sanguine. Unity for simplicity.
Netroid here, Panitom in the sky already. Landing now, and that'll be big. 1 kill goes the way of Panitom, but Simplicity get the objective.
And straight afterwards, Panitom ends up dying at the same time. Genetics does end up falling down there.
Just don't. The Egyptian goddess of magic.
Oh, Grasp of Death just ends his life in seconds.
Well played.
And now, though, Maniac is rotated back in. Shinto floats back in and still defends the tower. Gets back in time, but Sanguine still trying to make something happen in the mid. Good wall from Wrong-Yu, but fails still at the back on towards Sanguine's member of Shinto. And he got 1 kill, but he won't be able to get the second. It's a 1-for-1 trade. They'll watch him die.
Nice turnaround. Real nice stuff there again. I'm still looking at Wrong-Yu. Wrong-Yu is my MVP.
Haddock still went back in for that trade. I don't know about that one, friend.
Rough.
Just a little bit too much. He did have Panitom behind him, and I think they both misread that situation. 2 different calls, I feel, and Streak Up, here we go again.
Streak Up looking for the 1v1. Dashes down, lifesteal's good. Shoutouts to the passive. Streak Up again. 3.
Being on down. Rotations coming into play now as Streak Up rotates over. Genetics still chasing, looking for Netroid. Netroid under pressure here. Will get kissed, but he was too close to Haddix to force him back towards the action. Grasp of Death used and puts Maniac and Panther in a worse spot. Genetics in the worst spot of all, but a big old knockup comes out from Fails, and Streak Up in the right place at the right time. Transforms again in towards that volcanic lightning Pele and gets another kill for his team. Wrong-Yu very low, but luckily a tier 2 tower still standing.
Never what I like to see. I don't think it's what made us like to build, but sometimes you gotta.
Genetics got focused for a second, but Haddix overextended to do so. Has to ult away. Big Grasp of Death and a wall from Panitom. Over the wall with a double tap and a Berserker Barrage. Gets the kill for Haddix. Maniac low on life, but no execute of to keep the mobility you've got. But he draws out Sanguine from the tower to look to try and burn that. And it ends up forcing Sanguine to be overextended, so Simplicity collapsed, but Sanguine adds it back.
Death Panther, no ultimate, so Sanguine looking for the objective. Team fight, Simplicity.
Streak Up round the back again, disguised and gets a kill. Fails with 1, however, on the backside. Panitom crashing in and gets the kill onto Death Panther. A big pick there to shut down some of the potential of the Fury, but we did see Shinto fall at the same time, and Maniac still trying to find this kill on Haddix.
Dashing away, no problem. Dinner. But having the option and the utility of what ISIS is able to do here has enabled Simplicity in every other aspect.
Wrong-Yu under pressure in the jungle. He was just trying to rotate in to see what was going on in the Yoni Fury. Grasp of Death used by Shinto. But it's
That's as possible.
Wow.
Find the kills, and Panitom gets his beats.
and keeping these pit members busy is also allowing a lot of minions on the left-hand side to group up. Maniac frontlining again. Darkest and Knights now consumed by Sanguine. But Maniac bit off more than he could chew there up against Netroid and Haddix.
Off. This is a bait.
The Pyro's getting down very, very quickly here. Spirit Ball at max range will force a reset. Haddix eats the chunk of that. Still, though, in the sky is Panitom. Death Panther forced to use a circle protection on himself. Genetics on the backside gets collapsed on by the whole team, but Maniac's there alongside him. Still alive, though, is Fails, but not for too much longer. And now in the back of that, Streak Up comes in, looking to clean up the pieces.
1 goes down. Streak Up looking for kill number 2. The walls are strong, and Dark Omen. Not dark enough.
Over 90 seconds, but still, Sanguine going in for a Pyro. Genetics going to try and force a reset or a steal here. Simplicity will get that Pyro as a Streak Up round the corner, look for a stun. Didn't want to overextend. Maniac charging in for his team. Panitom walls them off, hammers back towards them, as now Shinto under so much pressure. No relics, remember. Grasp of Death consumed. Into the sky goes Panitom. Ducks the backside, but Streak Up's there too. Can't find the angle he's looking for as Maniac and Genetics lead in. Shinto at least takes out Fails. And oh, Death Panther just escapes that wall hammer combo, but Streak Up's up. He looks at Wrong-Yu and finds the support, trying it back.
Panitom sandwiched here. Kill going the way of... Can they catch him?
Maybe. Yes, they will now. The wall comes through, but it did... Funny enough, I don't know why Streak Up...
All in their hands, and they will take the offensive push again. I love the look from Sanguine. They are getting better at identifying moments of opportunity.
Up to the Simplicity front line here, I feel, to try and slow down this FG or force a reset.
25.
The carries in a bit of an awkward spot. Streak Up coming into the pit, though, stealthing his way through, looking for a target. His Maniac is whittling down health bar. The FG came into play a little bit in terms of that, as now Streak Up rooted and forced the beads away from Wrong-Yu. Genetics in the back backside being zoned away by Panitom, and Fails goes in, but Netrioid comes up big. It's off there with that ward just being off the mark.
Finish
so
the
Genetics
fire.
is causing a problem. Panther's looking at it. Into the sky goes Streak Up, disguised. There's Panitom on this Thor. FG still leashed. Shinto focused. Shinto is dead. Next on the list could be Death Panther though in response from Sanguine as they look for Death Panther, who has to circle and protect himself. The Grasp of Death does hit off the wall, and Death Panther falls down.
Panatom with the kill off of the assist from the mid lane mage. Genetics being chased down, won't get executed. The spin to win is good. Netrioid puts down Maniac.
What a great wall from Panitom to keep Netrioid up, and now Streak Up can only look on, but Fail still looking at the backside to try and find the kill. I don't think he'll find Netrioid in time before he bases now. And it's only Fails left alive now, and enemy territory has to blink away. The docks are nice there by Netrioid. Transform and run away after the hammer toss. Maniac has used the ultimate defensively here. Slowly but surely, the Phoenix is getting whittled down. Genetics goes in again, gets the ult on Haddix, but eats a ton of damage for the pleasure. Haddix still alive, but the Grasp of Death finds its target.
From all the way downtown, Shinto puts it in.
With the result of the ultimate forced. Look at Fails and Streak Up though on the backside of this top left-hand corner. Don't know what they're doing over there, but Thor in the sky might be able to spot them. Scratch that. Genetics under so much pressure here. He goes all the way in for Netrioid. They're trying to set up a kill on Netrioid who Fails and Streak Up, I feel like, as Maniac and Genetics cause a distraction. But FG is on everyone of Sanguine, and Netrioid sustaining meets Streak Up, but the Assy is just
the way home.
Sanguine are potentially going to end the game right here. Shinto setting up the plants, throwing out the Bone Crushers, trying to whittle down Streak Up's health bar. But it's the Titan that's getting lower and lower and lower. And Sanguine are going to take game 2. They're 1 game away now from the World Championship.
Jorm wanna dive backline, a very hard backline to dive the Morrigan and the Chernobog. He can detect Morrigan in stealth when he goes underground. He gets stealth detection, so that's good. But still very hard to like utilize his ult in a good way here on the enemy carries.
It's gonna be difficult for both these teams. Sanguine 1 game away. Simplicity need the win to keep their hopes alive.
Oh, they do, Finch. And it's times like this through the years that we're always trying to take it 1 game at a time, Tom. Tap hit them both, and Panitom really didn't enjoy that at all. Fails wants to continue the chase, but a good slow from the updraft from Wrong You came into play there. Now he's going to get away, however, and avoid some of this damage out from those basic attacks from Death Panther. Fail spins in, looks for the Berserker Barrage. The roar is not going to be loud enough to hit onto Wrong You.
Nicely done by Wrong You.
1 hit will be enough for the first blood, though, for Death Panther. Panitom could only really watch on there, and it was Fails was. But also, good news, at least for Sanguine, as now Netrioid forced to use his beads, taking a trade. This is a man battle, but the ult comes up from Streak, but it turns into Circuit. I don't think Netrioid was ready for a Circuit in that situation. Welcome to the Morrigan transformation time.
As a deterrent, if Simplicity are able to turn and get into a team fight, Wrong You provides the knockout.
Netrioid rotating around to this left-hand side to put some pressure on Death Panther, and he's knocked him as he came out of the wall from the gust, and now Panther can't get back to mid lane in time, and the beads were also consumed in that engagement. The pressure onto Death Panther at the moment, but here's another Chernobog in Streak Up.
He's damage, a ton of escape options, a ton of control.
Panitom looking for a kill on Maniac, who's a little bit overextended here. Death Panther swooping in to try and help out his teammate. Too little, too late, and now he's in trouble again. No beads available, but he escapes the updraft, and Panitom doesn't have a kiss available. Haddix being looked at in the jungle here, did just double dash to try and get away from Panitom, but Panitom held the kiss, and the damage from the Blizzard from Shinto did put some more damage on. The wall comes into play and slows down Panitom, but Wrong You there for cleanup crew. Will swoop away, but in the sky is Fails.
Fails to land on top of Wrong You, brings him down to about 33.
Over here, as the Streak Up, 2 Chernobogs, and they're both on the side of Simplicity. Wrong You, get out, friend! Not today, says Simplicity, as Streak Up gets credit for the kill. He just allows his airstrike and avoids most of the damage for now, I say, as he's forced to beads away the ult from Genetics.
Can't even turn around there as the big ultimate comes out from Haddix, cutting everybody in half, and Netrioid, one with the big sword, now in trouble. The turnaround is good, the 1 for 1.
But 1 for 1 and a Gold Fury is still up for Sanguine as Haddix gets towards Death Panther and gets himself a kill on the backside. This is a disaster here for Simplicity. Now Wrong You in with the chase to continue this as they march on. Looking for Maniac. Great blink in from Wrong You, presence of mind. I saw his ult and I was like, this is a bit much, Wrong, but he knew he had blink up, and that could get the pick onto Maniac as well.
It absolutely will. Shinto puts him in the ground. 3 for 1 so far.
Streak Up rotating around the back in mid. Will D-Ward for now. All the pace is on from Panitom and Wrong You, though. He's really setting it with this Circuit.
This is absolutely the right thing. Simplicity in the last game had a 4 team fight.
Good airstrike. Gets away from the danger of the Whirlwind and Range and Steel. Wrong You gets pulled under. Fails, though, for cleaning up crew. Potentially a Netrioid. Was looking for the back. No beads, no Aegis, no ultimate, no life. Wrong you got to ult here, give a shield towards Panitom, and it does well. Wrong you still needs a bit of help though, as does Panitom. Shinto,
Big
and
ultimate.
of course Haddix a little bit late to this fight, but here in time, I guess.
Yeah, Haddix shows up
Wow.
big there. Big kill for him. Almost a double
hammer.
kill. Shares out credit with his teammates, but the rotation from the solo lane brainworm, that worked.
Laners versus the junglers, and it's back and forth there as now Netro gets caught out by fails,
Got him.
but 2 crits in a row, says goodnight. In comes Death Panther to try and clean up, but Netroid still had his ass.
But Netruid continues to be one of the harder carries.
Pyromancer get in low as Maniac wraps in, Janex comes into the fray, but eats a ton of damage on entry, and now Fails comes crashing down to try and get some kills, but Netroid is still alive and whittling away the health bars of the front line as Panitom annihilates the escape route, but Streak Up got a big double kill there. Finally got into the action at the right moment in time.
Rest of Simplicity trying to get away. Death Banner does go down. Haddix with the kill. Panatom looking for Streak Up.
Should be able to find him.
Rotation's
Good
big.
blink, good stun, good knock up. Streak Up is in trouble. Won't get the stun off in time as Panitom claims another life.
Game we saw bigger chunks, but returning to the smaller objective.
Janex a little bit far forward there. Uses the second leap and straight afterwards. Panitom's there with a kiss. Now the follow-ups there with the ultimate and the knock-up from Haddix. Good CC chain onto Genetics, and he won't be able to get away at the end of the day. I like the idea from Genetics just trying to get some deep wards down. Starting to begin with Shinto and Netroid. Fails to the sky. Needs to slow this down and ults in early.
Lands down, doesn't really hit the
Ouch.
players. The players hit him. Netruid with the first kill of the fight.
And now Death Panther juggled in the air over and over and over and over again. Sanguine also get the fire giant of Zac. Focus on Panther was there. Streak Up in action to the backside. Will at least take out Shinto. But after that, can he even get away?
Again, way too late to the party. All that fun stuff, but also some good damn Smite.
They had one of the hardest routes to get to this final, right? Don't forget they've played for 5 days to get to this point.